Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, play to earn, and price. And today, guys, I want to go through my Axie Infinity staking rewards and just tell you how much I'm making on a daily basis currently, and how quickly this will probably run out, because on February 3rd, the staking rewards are going to be cut drastically, and I want to show you where I got that information and how much that will affect what I'm doing and what I plan to do afterwards. So with that, let's get into it, guys. Here's my screen. I've got about $8,500 wrapped up in the AXS to wrapped ETH pool. I've got another just a little bit of money, $276 currently in the SLP to wrapped ETH pool, and then I've been stacking on the daily this Ron versus wrapped ETH pool, and half of this, guys, is just pure profit. I was staking Ron in the SLP to WETH pool back in, I believe it launched in October. The Katana decks and the farming abilities in this DEX were back in October, I believe, and I started immediately. In fact, I can show you the analytics, guys. So I think liquidity, this doesn't go back far enough, but let's see, overview. Don't know if it goes quite, it must have been, yeah, November 3rd. So we started not quite in October. November 3rd is when we added, I was able to add some liquidity here. This does not show my specific account, but I did immediately on the day that it opened started adding liquidity to this. In fact, I could probably run back to the transaction if I wanted to show you, but I'm not going to because that would be boring. But right now I'm making between 16 to 17 RON per day in all of these pools combined, and I'm just stacking and stacking this. In fact, it's going up every single day. I think when the RON to wrapped ETH pool started, I think I had like 13 to put into it. Actually, I had about 26 between all my SLP and wrapped ETH gains that I had made from early November till January, and then ended up taking all of my AXS out of the AXS staking. Now this AXS staking is still sitting calmly at 89%. I'm really glad to see that this staking pool did not get completely transferred over to the farming, because this APR is a lot higher. In fact, it was a lot higher when it started. I was at 170-ish% APR when maybe on the second day that it launched over here, and then, or at least the second day that you were able to see what the actual APR was. I digress. I meant to say that this did start, the AXS to wrapped ETH pool did start back in November as well, just like the SLP pool did. But what I decided to do was just take all of my reward SLP that I made with my scholarship program and just wrap it up with ETH. In fact, originally I was only taking the SLP rewards, cutting it in half, selling half for wrapped ETH, and then staking. So I didn't actually start doing a one-to-one, like taking my rewards and taking my personal ETH and putting them together in this pool until I knew what the APR was. And guys, this has gone as high as I think 450 or maybe even 500% APR since it launched in early January. And now we get to see what the APRs are, and I'm excited to say that we're getting some massive APRs, although February 3rd is the last day that this is going to be this high, because they're not going to be giving away 555,000 RON per pool and up until that day. Now, right now, the RON rewards are 555,000 for both the AXS and the SLP pools, and the RON pool is getting 510,000 per day. This has fluctuated a little bit. I'm not sure why. In the light paper, and which I'll show you in a little bit, is where you will see these numbers. But right now, making about 15, 16, 17, and probably tomorrow I'll make 18. And all I'm doing is restaking my rewards on a daily basis right around lunchtime for myself. It's a great lunch break for me. Get to take 10 minutes spend a little bit of my free transactions. Right now I'm holding 4 Axies in my account just so I have 12 free transactions a day, and I'm using about half of them right now. I could probably cut it down to 2 or 3 Axies and probably just have a full team in there to play occasionally by myself. But I do recommend, as an investor, guys, use your Axies a little bit, just to know, you know, you might have a scholar that really knows what the meta is, but what if they leave, you know? I think even though, you know, you have maybe 3 Axies that aren't making you a ton of ROI because you might not have the time to do the full grind, you know, to get the daily SLP, you know, minimum of 75. But I do recommend playing on a regular basis. I took about 3 months off from playing, let all of my scholars, I just adding scholars like crazy, and I just wanted to make every single one of them, you know, really good scholars. So I gave them all my teams, and I didn't play for myself, and I actually kind of lost track of what the meta was. And thankfully, on kind of to my luck, ended up coming back to the meta that I started with back in August. I was starting with an ABP, and the backdoor bird and the double nut ramp, and it's actually come back to that a little bit with some of the recent nerfs and buffs. So but I was out of the loop for a while, haven't really played with reptiles much, haven't really played with bugs, and those have been huge in the meta over the last 3 months. So I do recommend you guys get in there and play your own NFT, you know, Axies to win some SLP and just to understand the game and where it's headed, guys. So the gameplay has definitely changed. There's so many different teams out there playing. But again, I digress, guys. This is more about the earnings that I'm making from Ron and not about so much the gameplay. But since I'm here, I might as well talk about it. But let's go to the Lunacian. I think Lunacian does Substack, or I don't remember if it's, I spelled that wrong anyway. Yeah, here we go. Axie.substack.com. It's the Lunacian. I want to read it first. You can sign up for the newsletter. It's pretty great, but I wanted to show you here. Here is the stats. I think it's just down a little bit here on the page, where on February 3rd, if you missed this, and a couple of people have asked me where I got the February 3rd from. February 3rd, this pool will stop receiving 500,000 RON in rewards in 24 hours. January 28th through February 3rd. I'm sorry. Not really sure where the January. Oh yeah, this is when it started. Just a couple days ago, in fact. And the amount of RON will be drastically dropping from 500,000 per day to 85,000 per day, which will massively change the APRs, guys. So I do think the SLP, if you take that, you know, 500,000, 555,000 actually in the current, and then divide it by, let's see what the current APR right now I think is at 400. So guys, I'm not going to do the math on this. You can do this. You can do the math. I'm terrible at math, honestly. I'm just going to wait until the day of. But just doing some quick mental math here, 500,000 is you know, almost 5 times, or at least 4 times more than what we're currently that we're going to be making in the SLP. So I guess the SLP to ETH pool or wrapped ETH pool is going to probably look like more like 100% APR on the most. You know, the most risky of the pools. The SLP to ETH pool, definitely the most risky, since SLP right now does not have enough burning mechanisms to be, you know, a long-term uprising coin. It's just been down and down and down. In fact, it's at 1 cent, or just under at 0.0099 cents right now. So I think we're going to see drastic drops in the Ron ETH pool and in the AXS pool. I'm going to put my AXS back into the staking pool as soon as the 3rd, and I might even do that sooner, guys, because, well, you know what? I think on the AXS pool I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to keep it in until the 4th. So maybe on the, you know, at before midnight or before the Axie switch. I'm not sure exactly what time they're going to drop it. Here in the Midwest, and I'm on Central Time. You know, the Axie flip, or the time reset on the game is around 8:15 for me. So I might check in on there and see if our APRs have dropped drastically. And when that happens, I'm going to be moving my AXS back into the AXS staking, and then reclaim the wrapped ETH that I've been accumulating alongside of that. I do expect to see a little bit more ETH and a little bit less AXS than I put into the pools, because the price of ETH has gone up, and the price, well, I think it's been fairly relative actually. The price of AXS to ETH has actually been pretty 1-to-1 since the APRs have been shown here. So we might get a chance to just have a, you know, come out basically even as far as how much assets we put into the pool. Obviously, I've made you know, about $40 a day just in all these pools. I think I've probably made, you know, $30 of that in the AXS to WETH pool in particular. So I'm going to take that, put it back into the AXS staking. I'll probably make closer to $20 a day, but I'm not staking you know, $8,500. I'm only staking about $4,200 in the AXS pool. So, and then down here, you know, the RON to WETH, we'll see how much the APR is, and I probably will just leave the SLP to WETH in the staking pool, guys, because this is going to be the highest APR still, at least I think probably in the 100% range. And I'm just going to keep stacking SLP until the price goes up. I do have faith in the project. I do have faith in the Axie Infinity Sky Mavis team to invest in the technology, and we have some upcoming burning mechanisms. We're on the cusp of hearing what Jiho has to say and the rules he's going to put in place as to how much SLP will be minted. I think honestly, guys, if I was a betting man, I would say that Adventure SLP will probably be going away very, very soon, if not, you know, tomorrow. And then with the RON to WETH pool, this is an interesting one, because I want to see what the APR ends up being here. I'll either, I'm tempted to sell this or to unstake this tomorrow and sell every single RON that I have. And I'll tell you why, guys, because let's go over to, pardon me, let's go over to my trading view, and on the day that that RON was live, we went from $3 a RON all the way up to $4.30 per RON, and I think this thing has the potential to do something very similar over the next 24 to 48 hours, because in about 48 hours we'll see the farming pool go away, as far as the high, you know, the 148% APR that we're seeing right now. So will people hold on to their RON? I am guessing that's not going to be the case, and based on where the ETH price is, and you know, I do think we're on the upper end of a rollover here. I do see this getting stopped at this resistance here in this orange box and heading back down towards 2620 over the next you know, 12 to 48 hours. I do think we could see a retracement on RON as well. So if RON starts dumping at all tomorrow, in fact, it kind of has started already, unless we see an uptick here, which is possible. I do think investors are going to start dumping RON onto the market, because the APRs won't be so high in the RON to ETH pool, and then they'll pick it up again when it drops lower. Now, I could be wrong, guys. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your research on this, and you know, I'm just telling you my opinion here. I do think my opinion is that this will drop under $2 after the RON to ETH pool you know, is the APRs drop, because there won't be as it won't be as necessary to hold on to these tokens, at least in the short term, because we're not really seeing a burn of a considerable burn of this token, because the Axie Infinity or Sky Mavis team has given us so many opportunities to have free transactions. In fact, little known secret, and I was given this information by somebody on Twitter. I'm not familiar with the Scholar side of things, so I assumed that the Scholars had to pay a transaction fee between, and obviously do, actually getting Ron onto the Binance Smart Chain. Well, what I understand is that, Binance being the most common wallet or transfer, fiat transfer off-road for the people in the Philippines and those other Scholar, nations. I'm not, in the US, I don't get to use Binance. I get to use Binance US, but it's not the same. So Binance apparently is easy to off-ramp with Ronin, because they're both ETH forks. So it's possible that I could, I don't have to send them their SLP to their Ronin wallets, guys. I can actually transfer tokens directly to their Binance Smart Chain wallets, and only pay the gas fee in, and I think it's going to be in Ron to off ramp to Binance. Now I do have to check that out. It could be in ETH, and that would be a little bit more expensive. But from what I understand, somebody on Twitter let me know that we can bypass some of the fees. I can use my free, Ronin chain free transactions with the Axies that I have in my wallet, or the Axies that I have in the Scholars, Ronin wallets, and directly pay them straight to Binance. So we may not see a lot of use of the Ronin chain as far as fees go for some time now. So just a little look behind the curtain there as a possibility for I just don't see a lot of use case for the Ronin coin. Obviously, I'm going to be wanting to stack as many as possible, because I do think the long-term vision for Ron is going to be massive. I do think it could be similar to the Binance token. I don't know, I haven't looked into the tokenomics of Ron versus Binance yet, but I do think, we could see, Ron prices of, I don't know, I don't want to speculate yet because I haven't done the math, but guys, I know that the Binance token is somewhere up of, $500, or at least was during the tops of the this year's bull runs. And if their tokenomics are anywhere near the same, I think we could see massive gains in Ron. So again, I'm gonna have to do another video on that, on the tokenomics between different layer 2s, and as well as side chains and hard forks like Ronin. So with that, guys, I'm gonna I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck out there, guys. This is a fun new investment strategy. Cryptocurrency has been around for over a decade, obviously with Bitcoin, but the crypto revolution has come. People are really believing in it now, and you are still early, guys. Only 3.5% of the entire population of the world own crypto, and so getting in now will change your financial future, and hopefully for the better. So anyway, I'll see you on Thursday, guys, with another video. I always take Wednesdays off, so just a heads up on that. And with that, thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.